beautiful person and a beautiful poet, Susan Mahan.
All right.
Does it matter what mic I use?
What is the best one?
No. Hello.
Hello.
I want to thank Dave for inviting me to read during his feature. I'm going to read a couple of poems. Cabbage Days. A whiff of sauerkraut at a food court brought back memories of Saturday night suppers in South Boston before I was 10 years old. Hot dogs, baked beans, and brown bread for Mom and us kids. A side of sauerkraut for Dad. I couldn't fathom Dad's choice of vegetable, but then he was mostly a mystery to me. He spent a lot of time reading and had a far-off look in his eyes when he glanced up from his books. Two traits I eventually acquired. I now know that he traveled the world from his armchair. But back then, I had no taste for sauerkraut and a great imagination. I suspected that Dad, who had learned German in college and who once diligently transcribed a book he was reading, was an international spy because he ate it with such gusto. I began writing poetry when my husband died in 1997. A lot of my poems have been sad, but I'm sort of I have worked through the grief that way. This is a poem called The Bridge, and it's actually published on an online magazine this month. The Bridge. My dentist was building a bridge on the lower left quadrant. The 2-hour appointment allowed me to alternately cringe and relax as he drilled the surface areas, prepared the molding materials, and checked his progress on the video computer screen. I've gotten little sleep since my husband's recent death and welcomed the chance to close my eyes against the harshness of the drill, the glare of stainless steel, and sterile white. The dentist took a break. It could have been 2 minutes or 10, and I drifted off to sleep, dreaming that he had gone to haul more stones for the pyramids. Everything makes sense in a dream, you know. I awoke to the warmth of my husband's hand, cupping my chin and the side of my jaw. I was so sure he'd come to kiss me awake. But the dentist's glove had returned to the work site, poised to continue construction and catching my runaway tears. I'll read one more. It's my favorite poem that I've written about my husband. He called me princess. But he didn't mean one who wore a royal family tiara, or wanted a fairy tale with a fancy dress and a magic wand. No. What he meant was less obvious, but more telling of our relationship. When he called me princess, he could make the name sing with tenderness, as if I were the only woman on the face of the earth. Most times for him, I think I was. Most times I needed to count on that. He called me princess with aplomb if he wanted to defer to my judgment, or plaintively if he had reached the end of his rope and wanted me to make the decision. We trusted each other like that. He called me princess with an edge to his voice if I was trying to get my own way and he thought I didn't deserve it. He called me princess in exasperation when I wore him down arguments that could have gone either way. I was really good at that. He called me princess with the barest hint of irony, knowing full well that I did not lead the life of a princess, but that we are often kidding ourselves in life after all. It's the way many of us get by. Perspective colors everything. We had one of our best laughs when we learned that this guy in work had a dog named Princess. Nice company I was keeping. And that Thursday night in the hospital, with those raging leukemia cells poised for what turned out to be the final blow, his last words to me had been, "I love you, Princess. You look tired. Go home and sleep." Although I never said it to him in so many words, I knew I had married a prince. Thank you.
Yeah.